Good morning students. So in the last video we have learnt about the control structures. So control structures, if statement, if else statement and if else if else statement. So there are three control statements in Python. So therefore we have learned. So today we are going to see about the looping statements. Okay. So the control statements, if you want to transfer the control from one part of the program to another part, we will be using the control statements. But in looping statement, if you want a set of block of statements to be executed again and again for different values, okay, if you want to execute a set of statements again and again for a particular values or for a set of values, you can use looping statements. Okay, so there are two loops in Python, for loop and while loop. So today we are going to see about the for loop. So you have learned about the both for loop, while loop in C++ in 11th standard also. So in C++ you might have learned about for loop, while loop and do while loop. Okay, but in Python you have only two types of looping statements. One is for loop and another one is while loop. Okay. So today we are going to see looping statements. So first one for loop and the second one while loop. Okay, so first one for loop and the second one while loop. So first for loop. So this is the common and most often we use this for loop, and it is a comfortable loop also, and it is an entry control loop. While also is an entry control loop. You know what is an entry control loop and exit control loop. In 11th standard you might have learned about three types of loop: for loop, while loop and do while loop. So for loop and while loop are entry control. That is, first itself we will check the condition. If the condition is true, then only we will get inside the particular block. Okay, if the condition is not true, we will get out of the set of block statements will not even execute one time. Okay, but in the do while loop it is an exit control loop. So it at least, even the condition is false, the set of block statements will be executed at least once. So that is do while loop, isn't it? That is an exit control loop. So in Python we are having only two loop statements, for loop and while loop, and both are entry control loop. Okay, so for statements, so let us see the syntax for statement. So for, it's a keyword, and then counter variable, that is the variable we are using in the loop, and then in is a keyword, sequence. Okay, and then your statement block, and then else part. So else part, as usual, it is optional one, its corresponding else block. Okay. So this one is an optional part. So for counter variable, in, sequence, state, its corresponding for block statement, and then else, colon, then statement block 2. So this is else part is optional block. If you want, you can give the else part, otherwise you need not give. Okay, so for and in are keywords. Okay. So and then in sequence we will be giving the starting point, stop point and the increment value. Okay, for using that start value, stop value and increment decrement value, we will be using a function called range function. Okay, in for loop we will be using a function called range function. C++ lena kudupinga. In C++ how will you give? C++ for statement will be for I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus, and then your set of statements will be given, isn't it? So here the start value, the stop value and the increment value, how many times the loop gets incremented and at what value it gets incremented. It gets incremented by 1 or 2. It is determined in the here. Okay, so these values, stop value and increment decrement value is also given in Python in for loop in the sequence place using the function range. So for specifying these values we are going to use a function, that is the range function. Clear? So range function. So what is the range function and what is the syntax of it? Let us see. So the syntax for range function. Okay, so range is a keyword and then the open bracket, the start value, comma stop value, comma the increment or decrement value. Okay, and the increment or decrement value is optional. If you want, you can give. So range is a keyword, open bracket, start value, comma stop value, and comma increment or decrement value, and the increment or decrement value is optional. If you want, you can give, otherwise you can give only the start value and the stop value. Okay, so this is the syntax we have learned. So how this range function gets executed or how it works. So first, the range function, if you give the start value, it starts with the start value, but the stop value will take only the -1 up to the -1 value. Okay, suppose we are having range, I am starting with 1 and I am giving 10 and I am here giving 1. Okay, so consider this example of a range function. So here I have given 3 values, start value, stop value and the increment or decrement value. Okay, so here this range value must start with 1. So it must be incremented and incremented by 1. As I have given 1, it is be incremented by 1. So first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 etc. up to, it will be up to only 9. It will not include 10. Okay, so the range function works until the value, the stop value will be, what's the value you have given? -1. 10 kuttundingina up to 9. If you are given 15, it is up to 14, like that. Okay, so that is the stop value will be executed, stop value -1 till stop value -1. Okay, so 1 comma 10 means it will take the values from 1 to 9. Clear? So if suppose I am having a range function from 2 to 10, the same thing, and I have incremented by 2. Okay, so here I am having the start value as 2, the stop value as 10 and the incremented value to be 2. So it must be incremented by 2. Then how it will take the values? The first value will be 2, second value must be 4 as the increment has given 2. Next 6 and next 8. Will you take 10? No, because it will consider up to 9. So up to 9 means only 8 will be included, 10 will not be included. Clear? So in range function, the start value, stop value and increment decrement value will be given. So the stop value has the value, it will work till stop value -1. So be clear about it. Okay, so you can also, as I have given 1 and 2, take it as a positive value, so it increments. So if you want to have a decrement, then you must specify with minus symbol. Okay, so suppose I am having a range with 15 comma 3 comma -3. Okay, 15, 3 minus the start value is 15 and the end value is 3 and it must be -3 I have given. So I have given a decrement value. Okay, so then how the values will be? 15 and then -3 means 12, -3 means 9, -3 6 and the next will be 3, but it will not take 3, it will take, consider only up to 6. Okay, because the 3 here the stop value is 3 means the next value will be, it will be taken up to only 4, as you must considering the decrement value. Clear? So 15, 12, 9 and 6. So when you are using increment, it is up to the n-1 only, and if you are using decrement, it will be up to the stop value will be the +1 value. Okay, so be clear about it. So 15, 12, 9 and 6. Correct? Okay, suppose if in the range function, if I am giving the as I have said earlier, it is the increment and decrement is optional. If you are not specifying the increment and decrement value, the range function consider it as incremented by 1. Okay, it will going on incremented by 1, that is the default one, right? So in the same thing, if you are giving only in the range function, if I am specifying only 20, okay, so in the range function I have given only one value, then it will consider result which value, whether a stop value or stop value. it will consider it as a stop value. Okay, in the range function, if I give only one value in the bracket, it is considered as the stop value. Okay, so then what will be the, how the loop gets activated? 1, 2, 3, etc. up to 19. Okay, so it will start from 1 and will go up to 19 because I have given only one value in the bracket as a parameter. So it will consider only as n minus 1 up to 19. Okay, so I have not given the start value and I have not given the increment or decrement value. So simply if you give only one value within the range function, it will consider it as a stop value and it takes one as the increment value and one as the one as the start value and one as the increment decrement value. Okay, so if you are giving only one value, it is considered as the stop value. You can use both increment here and you can use decrement. So the main thing you must be very careful is the stop value works till n minus 1. Clear? So now let us see an example program. So consider an example program for I in range 2, 20, 2. And then I have given one statement, print I, end is equal to /t, right? So this is an example for a for statement. Okay, so for I in, so for counter variable, the counter variable I have used here is I, in is the keyword, and in the range function, the sequence part I have to give the range function. So range I have given 3 values with start value 2, stop value 20, and then the value 2 has the increment or decrement. Okay, so here the 2 is given as a positive value, so it will be incremented by 2. So within the for loop I have given print. So as we have said earlier, in Python program indentation is very important. So for within that print I have given. So this is here, after some space only I have given the print statement because this print statement belong to the for loop. In C++ we will enclose within curly brace, but in Python we will not use such symbols. Instead you will be using the indentation, isn't it? So you must be using the space correctly. So I am having only one print statement within the for block. Okay, so I am using I have asked to print the value I and comma I have given end. So in print statement you can use 2 parameters, end and sep, that is separator. Okay, we will be in the print statement we can use 2 parameters, end and separator. So end is it is used for giving the escape sequence. So /t, /n, /r like that. Okay, so /t means it will give one tab space. So if you want to print the values with tab space, then you can use the escape sequence /t. So it must be given in the parameter end. Okay, so if you want to print the values in the next line, then you will be giving /n. So /n is the new line escape sequence. That escape sequence must be given in the parameter end. Okay, and then separator, it is used for this parameter can also be used with print function. It is used for giving comma, semicolons like that. Okay, so here I have used the escape sequence, tab sequence, right? So now for, so what will be the output for this? So first I is in Python will not be having the need to give the data type, isn't it? So only these 2 lines form a Python program also. So for I in range, so first the start value is 2. So print I and then give a tab space. So next value will be printed after a tab space. Okay, after 2 a tab space will be given and then only the next value will be printed. So I have given an incremented value of 2. So 2 plus 2 will be 4. So again the I value gets printed. Again I have given a parameter. In the parameter I have given the escape sequence /t. So it gets printed for each and every value. So the next value will be 6 and then 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and 18. So the 20 will not be printed because the stop value is up to 19. Okay, so you must be very careful about it. The start value starts with the which value we have given, and the stop value gets stopped with -1 value. Okay, and then the increment value goes on. So the output for this program will be from 2 to 18. 20 will not be included. Correct? Okay. So in the same program here I have not used the else block, as else block is optional. If you want you can use the else block, otherwise you need not. So let us see and program with else block. So the same program I am using the word else. Okay. So here I am using a print statement. So the same program I am having an else block. In the else block I am having one statement, print the loop is finished. Okay. So as what will be the output for this? So as the for loop gets executed, it will print all the values from 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and up to 18, and when the value gets incremented by 20, 20 will not be included. So the for loop will get the control will get out of the for loop. Then next, so the else part gets activated. So in the else part, what the statement I have given, the loop is finished. So the loop is finished will be printed. When the condition gets false, the else part will be executed. So when does the condition gets false? When after 18, when it gets 20, the condition gets false. So the statement in the else block will be executed. The else part is optional. If you want, you can give. Otherwise, you no need. Okay, so you no need to give. Okay. So let us create a program to find the sum of first 100 natural numbers using the for loop in Python. So let us consider a variable sum. Let me have it as 100, and then I am having another variable, sum is equal to 0, n is equal to 100. So I am using a for loop for I in range. So from the start with the value 1, okay, up to 1, comma n plus 1. And then I am going to calculate the sum. So the sum is equal to, already I am having in the sum the value is 0. So sum plus I, and then it must print the value of the sum. So let it be here. Sum of first 100 numbers is, okay, sum. So consider this program. Sum is equal to 0, n is equal to 100. Okay, so for I in range. So as I want to find the sum of the values from 1 up to 100, that is the 100 must be included. As I want to include the 100, in range I have given 1 comma n plus 1. Okay, so n plus 1 means from this, it is the stop value. So now I am having, what is the value of n? The value of n is 100. Okay, then the stop value I have given it as 100 plus 1, that is 101. Then the stop value is 101. How, up to which the stop value will be taken? Up to -1. So executed up to 101 minus 1, that is equal to 100. So I want to include 100, so that's why I have given in the range function 1 comma n plus 1. Okay, so sum is equal to sum plus I. So first, what is the value of sum? I have given it is initialized as 0. So 0 plus 1 will be having 1, and then the I will be incremented. So 1 plus, if you want, you can give it here the as 1, otherwise need not, because it is default value. So and then 1 and then plus 2 plus 3, it will be getting on calculated up to 100. It will include 100 as I have given here n plus 1. Okay, so now what will be the output for this? So with this, only this one sum statement is inside the for loop. So inside the for loop there is only one statement, sum is equal to sum plus I. Okay, so the next print statement in indentation, it has came in the same indentation of for loop, which means this statement is out of the for loop. Okay, so here I have asked to print sum of first 100 numbers is this, I have given in the double quotes. So whatever the string you are giving within the double quotes will be printed as such. So if you want to separate a variable and a string, you must separate it by comma. So I have specified here comma, and then I have asked to print the value of the variable sum. Okay, so what will be the output of this? So sum of first 100 numbers is up to this, as I have given in double bracket, it will be printed as such, and then what is the value of sum will be printed here. Okay, so clear? So within the for loop only one statement sum is there, and the print statement is out of the for loop. Okay, so that's why the indentation, the for loop and print is in the same one, and the sum is with a tab space inside the for loop. Okay, so in Python indentation is very much important, be careful about it. So sum is equal to 0, n is equal to 100, the range I have given n plus 1 because it takes the value up to minus 1, and then this is the only one statement inside the for loop, that's why I have given one tab space after the for loop. Okay, and the print statement belongs to the general building block and not inside the for loop. Clear, students? So with this the for loop gets over. I think you have understand the for loop. So in for loop you will be using one function, range function. It only with this help of range function only you can give the start value and increment decrement value. The increment and decrement value is optional in range function, and in range function if you give only one value it will be considered as the stop value, and the start value and the increment decrement value will be defaultly as 1. Okay, so you must be very clear about it. So for in the for loop we will be using one keyword in, for I in. So in is a keyword, you should not change it. So for I in and then the range function. So the range is also a keyword. Thank you, students.